Council. On item 2, we are dealing with municipal activities. 2.1, community stakeholder engagements. The Local Government Municipal Systems Act make provision that a municipality must encourage and create conditions for local community to participate in its affairs, including but not limited to the establishment, implementation, and review of its performance management system, strategic decision relating to the provision of municipal services, the preparation of its budget. The municipality has been preparing its 2025-2026 budget, and in compliance with the above-mentioned provision, over the month of April to May 2025, several budget integrated development plan, IDP, public and stakeholder engagement consultations were held throughout the different regions of the municipality with key stakeholders and community members. The intention of the hosting the said engagement, other than compliance, is to allow communities and stakeholders to partake in the council decision-making through the airing their views of the proposed budget and strategically identified priorities contained in the IDP. Communities and stakeholders exercise their right to freedom of speech by clearly articulating areas where they strongly felt that the municipality hasn't adequately delivered and put forward constructive proposals on how best the draft budget could be structured to address the set identified shortfall areas. The proposal collected from the said consultation sessions have been considered and, where possible, have been effected on the final 2025-2026 budget IDP that will be considered by the municipality. Ward-based community meetings are also being convened monthly and in some wards on a quarterly basis, and councillors that are still not engaging, respectively, committees are urged to comply with this requirement, which is part of the code of conduct for councillors. Hostel safety workshop that was held on the 22nd April 2025. Hostels are an integral part of the municipality, and currently there are 6 wards with hostels dwelling within the boundaries of the city. A number of concerns has been raised through different platforms with the municipality on challenges experienced by hostel residents, including the safety and security in these establishments, which resulted in the municipal council resolving that a hostel in Daba be convened with relevant stakeholders to dialogue and craft strategies on how to best deal with the said challenges. The hostel in Daba was indeed convened in December 2023, attended by relevant stakeholders such as SAPS, ward councillors, reps from all 10 hostels, a delegation from Human Settlement, and many others from other structures. From the dialogue, a number of resolutions were taken, some of which being that through the study be conducted by Human Settlement to establish the main source of challenges being experienced in hostels in our municipality, and that a follow-up session to track on resolution taken by be scheduled to ensure continuity and eventually address challenges experienced by hostels residents. A follow-up session in the form of a workshop was convened on Tuesday, the 22nd April 2025, as per the Hostel Indaba resolution, where in the main the safety challenges were addressed. In attendance were the chairs from the Security and Emergency Committee, Deputy Chairperson from Human Settlement and Engineering Committee. There were reps from hostels, ward councillors were also present, and the delegation from KZN SAPS. In the safety workshop, there were 3 proposals or recommendations that were made. Firstly, hostel safety forum must be established or convened and coordinated by the Office of the Deputy Mayor as the chair of the Security and Emergency Support Committee, with the support from Human Settlement Unit and the Office of the Speaker. This being done and concluded before the end of the first quarter in the financial year 2025-2026. Secondly, Human Settlement Unit is to properly address the issue of allocation of residents in hostels. The unit to develop a clear strategy by the end of the first quarter 2025-2026 financial year for consideration by the Human Settlement and Engineering Support Committee in the first instance and approval by Council. West Chatu, through the District Development Model DDM, in all future discussions regarding safety and security in the municipality, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development be invited and form part of all the programs. Human Settlement Unit to conduct a study on the innovative ways of collecting rent in hostels and the finding thereof to inform the strategy on the overall management of hostels. Ethics Committee. The Ethics Committee is established by the Municipal Council in line with the provision of Schedule 7, the Code of Conduct for Councillors contained in the Local Government Municipal Structures Act, to investigate and make findings on any alleged breach of conduct. The committee comprised of 9 members, and like all other council committees, the membership thereof is allocated on proportional basis, with 4 from the African National Congress, 3 from the Democratic Alliance, 1 from the Economic Freedom Fighters, and 1 from Inkatha Freedom Party. In April 2025, a vacancy was created in the committee by a member representing the ANC, which is former Councillor Yolanda Young, who resigned from the Municipal Council. The ANC Chief Whip has since advised the Speaker that the said vacancy shall be filled by Councillor Dumsane Maxwell Tsundwane as a new, yes. Councillor order. Councillor Dumsane Maxwell Tsundwane will now form a member of the Ethics Committee, replacing Councillor Yolanda Young, who have resigned. The order councillors. The Municipal Council is hereby requested to approve the appointment of Councillor Dumsane Maxwell Tsundwane as a member of the Ethics Committee representing the ANC, as replacing Councillor Yolanda. Number 4, the last item, changes in the Municipal Council. Order, councillors. Order. Council to note that Municipal Council had 2 vacancies, namely a proportional representation, a PR councillor, that arose from the resignation of Councillor Yolanda Young from the African National Congress and a ward councillor from Ward 110 that resulted from the resignation of Councillor Abdul from the Democratic Alliance. The two vacancies have since been filled by Councillor Nokanya Pel Kumete, replacing Councillor Yolanda Young. Where is Councillor Kumete? Thank you very much, Councillor Kumete. You are officially welcome as a councillor member. And Councillor Manda Goodman Biela from Umkhonto Wesizwe Political Party, elected ward councillor in Ward 110, replacing Councillor Abdul. Mr. Biela, Councillor Biela, are you present? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Councillor Biela, order.
Can you please call security, Speaker?
Order, Councillor Biela. Order, councillors, let's respect the meeting. Order. Councillor Biela, you are officially welcome as a member of Ethekwini Municipal Council. Thank you very much. The council currently has one vacancy from the resignation of Councillor Sibisi, a PR councillor from the Democratic Alliance, and it will be filled once a replacement confirmation is received from the IEC. Thank you very much, councillors, for listening. The report is submitted for information. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, as I've said earlier, many of the report is for information, but there is a recommendation that needs approval. The appointment of Councillor Dumsane Maxwell Undane as a member of Ethics. Councillors, is the recommendation agreed? Thank you very much. We will now move to item number 9 on the confirmation of minutes. Thank you. Councillors, I'm being guided here that item number 8, the declaration of interest is necessary because this is another meeting. There might be some items in the council agenda where councillors might feel that they have to declare some interest because this is another meeting. It means from number 6, we'll go to item number 8, which is a declaration of interest. Any councillor to declare interest?
Hambani impela.
Order, councillors. Any councillor to declare interest?
We repeat to Babu MK.
Okay. Now let's go straight to item number 9. We will start. We are not going to deal with the minutes for the in-committee meeting that was on the 30th January 2025. We'll deal with those later. But we are going to deal with the minute of an ordinary meeting that was on the 31st of March 2025. I hope that you have the copies of that meeting. There's in committee. There are 2 pages for the in committee, but for the ordinary meeting, there's a thick document. Councillors, I will take these minutes as read because they were distributed to all of you. in time. What I will request is that if there are any corrections from page 4251 to the last page, which is 4559, just refer us to a page and a paragraph for corrections. This is the first set of our minutes, 31st March 2025. Corrections first, page 4251, the first page. The last page is 4559. Just refer us to a page and a paragraph for corrections. If there are no correction, anyone to raise any matter on the first set of our minutes, any matters arising, councillors?
Akhambe umphakathi lo.
There are no matters arising. May I have the hand that move for the adoption of these minutes? Any mover? Councillor Njangase?
I move for the adoption, Speaker. Thank you.
Councillor Njangase says move. Any seconder? There's a councillor on my far left and so you come here, rapper. Councillor Webster?
Councillor Webster, Speaker, aye, ngiyaseconda.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Councillor, the minutes have been moved and seconded. Now there are also minutes for the meeting that was on the 14th of May, the special meeting. Minutes are also here for no, it's the 14th, eh? Yeah, for 17th of April, it was a continuation of this meeting I'm going to start with. The 14th of May, minutes are here, right, before we deal with the continuation on the 17th. Let's start with the first set of the minutes for the meeting that was on the 14th of May. It was a special meeting. From page 4402, the last page is 4412. Any corrections, councillors? Just raise your board, then refer us to a page and a paragraph. Thank you. There are no corrections. Any matters arising from those set of minutes? If there are no matters arising, let me have the hand that move for the adoption. Any hand, Councillor Madlala? Thank you very much. The minutes have been moved. Any seconder? Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Somlo, my second.
Thank you. The first set of minutes for the 14 have been moved and seconded. Let's go now to the next set for the continuation of the meeting that was adjourned on the 14th. This meeting was on the 17th of no. Okay. You are correct. The 17th of April, corrections, page 4577, the first page. The last page is 4691. Corrections. Corrections? No corrections. Matters arising? Matters arising? Let me have hand that move for the adoption of this minute. Councillor Mkhize.
Bongithuba, Speaker. Yeah, move.
Minute have been moved. Any seconder? Councillor Sukabasa.
I second, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Minutes have been moved and seconded. You will notice that We are now left with the in-committee minutes for the 30th of January and the 31st of March. We are going to deal with those minutes when we are in the in-committee meeting. Now we'll move straight to item 11. Item 11s are, these are questions in terms of section 27, section 27 of the rules of order. The first question is on page 5. The first question is on page 5. Unfortunately, in my page here, I don't see the name Belinda of the author of the motion. Now, you should confirm first whether the author of the motion is here or not. Okay, thank you. Is Councillor Zaman Kuzwayo? Is Kuzwayo present?
Present, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuzwayo. Let's have the response on page 5 from a question from Councillor Kuzwayo.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for Honourable Kuzwayo. The first question, please refer to Annex 1, Water and Sewer Fault from January 2024 to May 2025. Same thing applies for question 2. Question 3, in comparison with the other parts of the city, the sewer infrastructure in Newland is fair. The older settlement with the older infrastructure are likes of Westridge, the Seaview, Newland West, doesn't seem to be old settlement. By old settlement, I refer to 1910 and 1930. Question 4, predominating old infrastructure and aging AC pipes projects are open in phase 1 and phase 2. Some phase 1 is completed. Example, Palok phase 2 is approved and awaiting funding. Aisha Waste Man Replacement Project number X8438. This project was not completed. Only phase 1 was completed. Another phase 2 will be done in the next financial year. Question 5, Ethekwini Municipality does not co-join sewer lines and stormwater pipes. These are meant to be the separate lines. However, the overflow pipes can be constructed, which are not active lines, but they direct the sewer into stormwater in case of emergencies only. To make you understand the overflow, just imagine if the pump station is faulty. We avoid the sewer flowing the station and destroying electrical infrastructure by pumping this overflow pipe that will direct the flow to the river. This is only in the case of emergency. Question 6, sewer leaks are fixed by sanitation department. The consumer must report the fault. The call center will issue the fault number and direct the fault to sanitation control center. 7, according to superintendent of the area, the problem that contaminates the stream originates from the Richmond Farm to Zuma A, which the area belongs to Northern Region under Amanda Nen. Several blockages in Richmond Farm. 8, which does not appear as well, your speaker, on the questions, but we try to get the turnaround time to fix the sewer leaks is 24 hours. If it is the normal blockage, it might take longer if it is the blockage pipe that is affected by the SCM processes. 9, unresolved fault can be escalated to the line management. Escalated faults are prioritized. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nkosi. Please, you're being reminded to email those responses to Councillor Kuzwayo.
Yes.
Please make sure that you email them. Page 6.
It's Honorable Lunchman.
Order. Proceed, Councillor Nkosi.
Question 1, annexures 2 attached because it's too long. Question 2, the budgeting for the municipality is guided by Chapter 4 of the Local Government Municipal Management Act 56 of 2003, Section 17. I hope Mayor Bazo is supported this time around the budget. Njobe buza kanje. 1 and A prescribe that the annual budget of the municipality must be scheduled in the prescribed format, setting out realistic anticipated revenue for the budget year for each revenue source. Section 18 of the Act states that annual budget may only be funded from realistically anticipated revenue. Cash back accumulated funds from the previous year surplus not committed for other purposes. When the budget is being prepared, the above provisions of the Act are considered. Therefore, the budget is always prepared according to what the municipality anticipates collecting in the ensuing financial year. And noting that the budget is funded from the tariffs, the affordability of the consumers is also considered when determining the tariffs increase. A huge increase in the budget will require exorbitant increase in the sewer tariffs. Question 3, budget is not sufficient, especially with consumer misuse and abuse, vandalism, age infrastructure, and backfilling that is on waste, water network, sewer pipes. The department has not received the approved budget for 2025, 2026. Is coming on Thursday. The department will comment once received. Question 4, these are not delays. However, they must be advised for 7 days, even though they are emergency work. The department is developing maintenance contract to avoid the need for contractors for each emergency work. 5, the department is developing maintenance contract to avoid the need for contractors for each emergency work. 6, referred to 2 above. Also note that the collected revenue do not only cover the maintenance costs, but there are other expenditures items covered by the budget, such as staff salaries, payment of interest on loans, water, electricity, VIP emptying, sewerage services, depreciation, etc., just to mention few. The last one, which is 7, the timeline to hold all the blockages is in our network infrastructure is 24 hours as per SLA. However, this might be longer if there is a blocked pipe, broken pipe repair is per SLA in 7 days. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nkosi, for those responses. Page 7.
Honourable Singh, item 1, approximately 50. Question 1, approximately 50. Question 2, between 4 to 6 weeks. 3, none. 4, none. 5, the reason for rejection was that there was no negligence on the part of the council. 6, Sean Francis does the claims are managed in-house. 7, the consumer need to submit claims to claims@durban.gov.za. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nkosi. The last question is on page 8.
Thank you, Speaker. And thank you for the questions from Councillor Mkhize. Unlike you, Councillor Nkosi, I am certain that Councillor Mkhize is going to support the budget. Question number 1, what is the progress to date on assessing damages of 5 bridges? Response is that all assessment on Feinen Road have been completed to mitigate the risk of future flooding. Line Department has reduced the number of road crossing over the river to 5 river crossing, to 4 river crossings, sorry. On the 4 river crossing, there will be 3 vehicular crossing and 1 pedestrian crossing. The pedestrian crossing has been designed and is ready for implementation. Line Department is awaiting signatures of approving authorities of the Section 36 reports to the bid adjudication committee for the contractor's appointment. 2, how much will it cost the construction of all bridges? The 4 bridges could be constructed under one contract over the duration of 33 months for an amount of 135 million excluding VETs, or it could be contracted over 4 work packages over 54 months as a cost of 169 million excluding VETs. Question number 3, what is the progress on ensuring the availability of sufficient funds to contract these bridges? Line Department is adjusting the 2025-2026 financial year MCRF EF to allow for the 9 million for the pedestrian bridge. The funding for the 3 vehicular bridges to be secured from savings to be identified in the 3 outer financial years. Question number 4, when can the community of Lower Molweni can be expected to start of bridges reconstruction? As per answer 1 above, once the report is approved by the bid adjudication committee, construction of the pedestrian bridge shall commence immediately. The 3 vehicular bridges are in design stage and will be ready for implementation in the 2026, 2027, 2027, 2028, and 2028-2029 financial year. The last one, how long the reconstruction will take in terms of months? The projects can be completed over 33 months if full funding is made available, or over 54 months if funding is staggered. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mvobo, for that. Please, we are also reminded to email the responses to Councillor Mkhize. Thank you very much, councillors, for that. We are now moving to page 9. We will invite His Worship the Mayor to table the first report of the Executive Committee. Your Worship.
Thank you, Honorable Somlomo, Honorable Whip of Council, Amakosi Asendlunkulu siyakhuleka kuwo, Honorable Councillors, City Manager and Administration, nabasibukele einkundleni zokuxhumana. Allow me to present the first report of the Executive Committee. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Order, Speaker.
Councillor Mwango.
Speaker, for the record, you asked the mayor to table the report, not the deputy mayor. So if there are changes, it should be recorded that the deputy mayor will table the report. Because for record, you said the mayor is tabling the report, unless they've changed the mayor.
The office.
Okay, thank you. Your point of order is overruled. The order. They represent the office. They are coming from one office. Thank you very much, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The first report of the Executive Committee is from their meeting which was held on the 15th of the 4th, 2025. It starts off with the report of the Security and Emergency Services Committee from their meeting which was held on the 10th of the 4th, 2025. Item 1.1, request for authority to establish satellite driver's license renewal office and a satellite office for motor vehicle registering authority services at Metropolis headquarters. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, City Manager. There are 3 speakers on this report. The first speaker is Councillor R. Maharaj from Democratic Alliance. The second speaker is Councillor R. Mbonambi from the IFP. The third and the last speaker is Councillor ZP Mieni from the NFP with a donation of 2 minutes from the ANC. In that order, Councillor Maharaj.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We from the Democratic Alliance welcome the initiative to establish a satellite office for the renewal of driver's license and the renewal of motor vehicle registration services to the residents of Ethekwini. This will go a long way to overcome the long queues that are currently experienced at existing facilities. The reduction of long queues would in effect reduce the unproductive time that would, as a consequence, have a positive effect on the economy. After the successful opening of this facility at the Metro Police Headquarters, we look forward to the opening of similar satellite facilities at Chatsworth and KwaMashu as proposed, and hopefully there's further satellites that will also be opened. In conclusion, we pray that the proposed service delivery is of an exemplary high standard, unlike the other services the municipality provides. Since this service would be of great benefit to our residents, we will support the request. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Maharaj. Councillor Mbonambi.
Asibikele ngibonge speaker ngibikele wonke amakhansela khona ngibikele namakhansela amasha asanda usijoyina ukuthi hayi sikhona emkhandlweni sizosebenza. Speaker siyinkatha Freedom Party siyakweseka lokho kuthathwe iqathu lomnyango lomkhandlu wethu weTheku okucabangela izakhamizi okanye abahlala abahlala koMashu nakoIshaswet ukuthi sebezokwazi manje ukuthi indlela zabo zifindeke emgwaqweni baka driver amabanga amade ngexa ukuthi bocela izimvume emahhovisini omnyango wezokuthutha. Futhi lokho speaker uzophinda futhi kwehlise nomthamo kulama yama license offices akade ekhona ngenxa yokugcwala nanokuthi abantu sebezokwazi ba-apply bathole izimvume zezimoto ngaphandle ukuthi sebafutha ama-computer ethu sefrizile sekuthiwa sasebenzi ngenxa yokuthi ase-overpowered ukuthi asebenze kakhulu engaphumuli. Sikubongeke speaker ukuthi iTheku liyakhombisa ukuthi le GNU iyasebenza kuba hayi siyawucabangela umphakathi wethu waseThekwini. Siphinde speaker sibonge before sibonge upremier wethu tasiphe umkhuleko ngiyabona umoya emakhansela namhlanje muhla ayiphethe kahle umkhulu kade sinawo obokade uhlanguzo undunankulu. Siphinde simbonge nomeya wethu ukuthi mengekho akwazi ukuthi hayi amthumela uNkosi ukuthi amele iGNU iyasebenza. Sibonge speaker.
He's misleading
Now-
people here. We
now
don't
we-
have GNU here.
That report, ayikho into ejenu.
I repeat, I repeat.
Siyabonga kakhulu Baba Mbonambi. Councillor Mieni.
Honorable Somlomo, sibonge mhlamba umuntu akaqale ngokuthi the colleagues, honorable two councillors, they have already highlighted some of the issues, which I think it's important that this report is seeking to make it a point that it provides a service of issuing the vehicle license next to the other in Metropolis headquarter, which is going to take place in the Archie Gumede place. That this other councillors who are joining us, they must know that this is a Council of Progressive People.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Number 3, Honorable Speaker. A request to approve the reviewed enterprise risk.
Where the recommendation calls for it to be noted. That's the reason why I'm asking for clarity or maybe a legal opinion, because there have been funds, whether it was passed in the 2024-2025 budget, there was money that was done on that day for the grant to be set out. So just checking first whether this should be for a item for approval, then noting. Can we have that first?
No. Let's do this. Just debate the item, raise whatever issues you want to raise before the item is tabled for noting or approval. We then invite legal to guide on your comment. Let's do that later. I will consider your request.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the Democratic Alliance in the Governance Committee had raised two issues, two concerns. I think the first one was with regards to this year that the beneficiaries weren't named in our committee on the list. It was given as a regional base, the allocations. Now, in every year, we always get a list of beneficiaries, so it can be transparent and all councillors from each ward can do the oversight to see how well this non-profit organization do things in the community. So it was raised in our committee, and it was told oversight to see how well this non-profit organization do things in the community. So it was raised in our committee, and it was told that in our next meeting that list should be done. But hopefully by next year, before it comes to council, that list needs to be provided. So we do our oversight. The second one, Speaker, is that we've always been raising the issue of when we're having these events. And the mayor has made it in his statement that in our city we need to be bold and responsible. But we are hiring tents that cost us 43,000. Community halls can fill up about 1,000 people. So I think
Annually, the program helps various organizations to fulfill their mandates as non-profit and non-government groups. The work that these institutions do cannot and must not be undervalued, and we cannot overemphasize their importance. The IFP congratulates them and thanks them for doing what government cannot and fails to do. However, Mr. Speaker, the report placed before us today expects us to rubber stamp something that has already taken place. The report indicates that the handover took place on April 25th, 2025. While we appreciate that the GIA allocation for NGOs were approved last year, we believe that the added spend of some 208,000 Rand of ratepayers' money used for splashy handover functions and a program could have and should have been put to better use. May I remind this House that as per the budget statement report given to the Finance Committee last week, Ethekwini is sitting at a very low cash on hand percentage. Every cent, therefore, is precious and must be used in the most circumspect manner. It is the view of the IFP that the additional spend of 208,000 will be viewed by the AG as irregular and unauthorized expenditure, and therefore cannot in good conscience note this item. The IFP will therefore abstain on this matter. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Andepen. Councillor Said.
Thank you, Speaker. Greetings to you, Speaker, and the collective leadership of this city. Speaker, we see that these grants are necessary, and they are necessary aid that must be provided to organizations that impact change in society holistically. However, we must guard ourselves, Speaker, of persons seeking to gain under the guise of running NPOs and NCOs to gain financially through these programs. We must further develop clear goals and advance ourselves to support organizations that assist the city to advance its agenda. We are despondent on supporting these types of grants when in average speak to some 49,000 Rand per organization, which does not fulfill the true need of any organization meaning to bring change sustainably. We must also request, without excuse, the measure of impact these organizations have had on society, and in which focus area have they been working and made an impact. Albeit that we focus historically on items, our areas of need, we must, however, be cognizant of the need for focused drug rehabilitation as well as community policing organisms which will create environments of economic development, sporting freedom, leading to secured social welfare. Speaker, these organizations that are benefiting from this are all over the city, and it's quite clear that the leadership of the city don't know what they do and what impact they've had. We are saying in no uncertain terms, Speaker, that the amounts that are benefiting from this are all over the city, and it's quite clear that we, as the collective leadership of the city, don't know what they do and what impact they've had. We are saying in no uncertain
intervention by the city to assist organizations that are furthering democracy and the democratic experience in the whole of society in Ethekwini. The organizations covered by the granting aid assistance range from those who are providing early childhood development, those who are dealing with social welfare, which covers some of the issues raised by the Honorable Councillor side around the issue of drugs and the related issues of social ills. It also covers sports, arts and culture. It covers economic development, skills development, and faith-based organizations involved in community development work. Now, we take the points made by honorable members of this House around the issues of maybe getting a report on the impact of such interventions and the impact that these organizations are making in communities. We also take the issue around the issue of transparency, that we must be transparent about these organizations. However, you remember, Honorable Speaker, njengomuntu wasemakhaya ukuthi qali kwakuthi makuzolotsholwa kumiwe esangweni kumenyezwe. However, because of the changes that have happened in society and issues of crime, we no longer do that because but besamile lapha esangweni abantu kufika abantu babaphuce leyo mali because ukumemeza is saying we have money. Now, uhulumeni ke usehambe step further ngokuthi develop a police ebizwa ngokuthi Protection of Personal Information Act, which then prohibits us from splashing out amagama nama details abantu. In this instance, there was a request for a list of beneficiaries and their locations in terms of ward. And it was indicated in the committee that the list exists, but it will be issued on a request basis. Therefore, any member of Counsil, if he requests that list is available, but it would not be proper to display them in the papers, because it then says you have money, and there are a lot of things that have happened to people who are known to have money. There are extortion rings and all other issues. Thirdly, the issue of the higher costs. This report is asking us to note that this event has already taken place. It took place in Amanzimtoti Civic Hall, which is municipal owned, and therefore that falls away. We are trying by all means to ensure that we curtail the unnecessary costs. And as a result, we did not invite anyone else except the beneficiaries to the event. So the costs that are there are associated with the transportation and the aids, like your sounds and decorations, to ensure that people are meeting in a hall that is befitting and respectful to their organizations. The reason why we get them together, we don't just mail the checks to them, is for transparency, so that councillors and other people can come in and look at those people, touch and feel them, but also to ensure that they can network amongst themselves. If councillors had attended that, they would note that in terms of impact, one of the speakers in the event was a past beneficiary, someone who has benefited from the granting aid and was started off and is now a very successful person in terms of the endeavors that they are engaged in. And she came in to speak to the beneficiaries about the opportunities that are out there and to showcase that we are not just giving a group of friends and people who are known to the city, but we are contributing to the endeavors out there. As the ANC, we support the report and we ask for council to note that the event took place and it was very successful. Thank you.
Councillor Baruch.
Speaker, we find it very strange we bring this item for noting now when the event is already been done. Secondly, it states very, very clear here there was marquees used. Now, if my learned friend Matlala is saying that, you know what, you use the Toti Hall, then why is it in this agenda we got on page 19, we use 43,000? So this is becoming an norm in our council that we bring it for noting when the function is, when the event is already gone and done and dusted. So these are the items that we could have saved money. Yet we agree with the initiative that the granting aid is what purpose it's for. It is a good cause. But if you get information like this, it's just not on chair, Speaker.
Yeah, thank you. There was a request from the first speaker to invite legal to comment on whether it is correct for the executive to recommend for council to note. There is a view that ESCO should have recommended for council to approve. I will invite legal to comment on that.
Thank you, Babu Speaker. I believe the council members will recall that issue granting aid, allocation of funds and distribution is provided for in the budget, which is approved by council. So the distribution and the allocation of monies was approved by this council. What this report seeks to do is to report to the council members as to what happened to that project that they approved. You are being informed that the money was allocated to a total of 111 organizations. You are being informed that in the money that you approved, 208,000 was used for the event of hosting these organizations. So there is nothing to approve. That's why it's being brought here for noting. You already approved, but you are being informed about what happened to the project that you approved when you were approving a budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I hope council has been clarified. The report is correct to be here for noting. Is the recommendation noted, councillors?
No.
Next item, City Manager.
Mr. Speaker, the IFP abstains.
Yes, quite. Thank you. We'll record that. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 1.4, Sundry Grant in Aid for 2025-2026 Advert Report. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much. Three speakers. Councillor J. Anipen, Councillor Mwango, Action SA, Councillor S. Mchetwa, ANC. In that order, Councillor Anipen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the position taken by the IFP on the previous item, we do believe that the GIA program has enormous benefit to our people. We have said before, and it bears saying again, the outreach programs undertaken by non-profits make the work of government a whole lot lighter. Their influence and reach go where policy, laws, and bureaucracies cannot gain access. Sadly, many of these organizations do not have the administrative skill or the support to ensure perpetuity. In rolling out these programs mentioned in the reports, our municipality will upskill stakeholders of these NGOs and NPO bodies and assist them to use their skills to access resources not only locally but possibly globally as well. For that, our city must be commended. The IFP, however, still maintains that there remains an alarming level of political interference and concerns that NGOs and NPOs that are politically connected benefit from the program. The IFP considers this distasteful and calls on all quarters of this House to treat it with the scorn and contempt that it deserves. We call on the Support Committee, the Office of the CFO, and Internal Audit Controls to look into these allegations so that we root out anything tainting what could be a remarkable and noble program, and this will help all of us. We also call on the Office of the Speaker to ensure that all wards are somehow included and to equally ensure that the distribution takes place amongst ward councillors as well as PR councillors for the sake of transparency. With this, the IFP gladly supports these recommendations. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mwango.
Yeah, well, thank you, Honourable Speaker. The recommendation itself may sound clear and acceptable, but as Section SA, we have a serious concern which may lead a legal opinion. Can we, as Council, approve an item that commit the municipality before approving annual budget? Because this recommendation seeks to say we are committing the municipality on a budget that we are not yet approved, because it talks of 2025-26 budget, which we'll approve on Thursday. So does MFMA allow that we commit the municipality before approving the annual budget? I see this may become an irregular expenditure, Honourable Speaker. That's really a concern we are having. Can we get a clarity in terms of legal opinion on this one? Can we do that, commit the municipality before approving the budget?
Okay, we will do the same. We'll seek that opinion before we go to the item. I will request that maybe you conclude your debate, but your request will be considered at the end of other speakers. Okay, thank you. Okay, Councillor Mthethwa.
Somlomo ngiyabonga ngibingelele cha sinesicelo la sokuthi lolu hlelo luhle luka ANC olubenefitisa futhi bonke abantu
Donald Trump
singakhethile ukuthi uyiphi inhlangano kodwa lomphakathi wonke siphinde futhi siluqale
Ngenaphi
sifeze lonyaka kulonyaka ke siyafisa ukuthi sisheshe futhi sikhiphe ikhangiso zokuthi lolu hlelo lusheshe lusebenze libasiza abantu bakithi njengoba sekushiya ukuthi siza ke inhlangano zemphakathi okuyizona ezihlomulayo njengoba kadesho ubaba uMadlala ukuthi kade kunomcimbi lapho inhlangano khona zimukeliswa imali yokuzisiza nakulokhu ke siyafisa ukuthi sisheshe siliqale sibekelwe ukuthi silivulele uma iqala nje inyanga kaJune luze liyovalwa icelo ngokuphela kwenyanga kaJuly mhla ka31. Uma sivala ke siyafisa ukuthi kungenzeki lokho kwenzekile ngonyaka ofile ukuthi sivale siphinde sivule ngoba bengenela abantu aba-applyile noma bafake icelo. Sifisa nje ukuthi le nyanga ezimbili esizifakile siuhlabe siulawule sibaceca sibanqenqe abantu bakithi ukuthi bakwazi ukufaka icelo ngesikhathi sithi sivala sibavalele ngaphakathi. Siyafisa ke ukuthi sicele ukuthi sisifake ikhangiso ngokusheshsha ukuze abantu bakithi bahlomule. Siyabonga.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before we deal with the recommendations on page 20, I've already granted the permission as per the request from one council members to invite legal to guide us accordingly. Chairman.
Oh, we are seven. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't even think it's a legal issue. It's a common sense issue, Speaker. What we do as the council, even on the procurement issues, because we intend to start spending at the beginning of the financial year. We finalize our procurement plans. We issue out ama bid adverts while we are still in this year so that we start spending and appointing companies at the beginning of the financial year. So what is being sought here is the authority to advertise and call for applications. For those applications to be, the closing date would be the 31st of July, which is in the next financial year. And then you appoint or allocate as early as possible, and you don't delay invitation for applications and wait for the commencement of the financial year. So there is no money that is being committed here. I don't think there is any danger of irregular expenditure, in my view. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you,
Speaker.
councillors. Are the
Speaker.
resolution agreed?
Speaker. Agreed.
No. I gave you a time to debate. You said you are done.
Let's talk about common sense now.
No. Councillors agreed?
Don't have time. No, Speaker, no.
Next
We
item.
can't support, Speaker. We don't
Next item.
support.
Ufuna sikhulume ngento angenayo umncwango.
No,
Speaker,
Speaker.
we don't support.
Speaker.
You must
Point
record
of order,
that.
Speaker.
No. Point of order.
Yes, Speaker. Ngicela uSpeaker asithathe serious. As Senior Speaker nini, we are raising a concern here as councillor. Ukuthi umhlongo ukhulume kabi. Kungenzeka mhlambe ukuthi lokho esikhuluma ngako uyena kwenza sense, but ukudelela lokho akushiyo. So siyacela ukuthi we attend the Speaker because ngelinye ilanga izokwenzeka and kube kanje. Siyacela.
Thank you. Your point of order is overruled, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Item 1.5, request for budget consolidation and reprioritization for Human Capital Unit. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, councillors. Are the recommendation agreed?
Agreed.
Next item.
The second report is the report of Community Services Committee from their meeting which was held on the 15th of the 4th, 2025. Item 2.1, a request for urgent budget reprioritization to cater for project 2084B, which is the rehabilitation of Rotary Stadium, which has a budget shortfall. Committee recommends.
The Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Speaker.
Yes, Kiambosa.
The DA requests a 5-minute caucus on this item.
Granted. Let's give council time to the DA for 5 minutes for them to caucus. We will resume after that.
As I'm telling, nihambeni ngabuyi.
Hamba mthetho iphi imali eyipika.
Hey. Hayi lo sazoba lo.
Ayo illegal issue.
I think it's about maybe
abanayo common sense eyabona nje.
Hayi. Yo legal issue, common sense.
manje ufuna mina i-council ngimise.
Kahle hle futhi no ubona ngathi lahlekile common sense. Akazi ukuthi mina angiphanisho wena ngiphanisho usithi mina. Makuthiwa ngiphumile ke esandleni.
Ufuna phela umphela.
Ufanele usithi manager angayibheka. Hayi speed.
Manje badlala uthi delele badlala. Uthi manje umncwango ufuna ukuthi sidebate into angenayo. Common sense. Like esibheke nalo sidebate into angenayo. Hey,